Right, hello. Thanks for clicking on the link so that you can watch hopefully all of your feedback for your group and also venture into other groups' feedback because you never know which case study you will get in your test. Your marks, let me just get back to that. Let me start with this video will only be accessible to PMAR 211 students as I share the link on the Fundi site only. So don't worry about that. I'm doing my best to protect your privacy since a lot of you added photos and names in this Padlet. But if you have any problems, please let me know as soon as possible since this is on YouTube but private, unlisted. I just wanted to let you know I exported 274 pages, awesome content as far as I could scan. For those looking for extra credit, I will upload your bonus questions for the remaining units for the exam. The questions will be based on exam questions. And then you can do that for extra credit. That will be available after your test. I need you to focus on that. The marks, however, for the Padlet will only be available after your test. I allowed students to submit on Monday, the past Monday, the 22nd, which gives me a week to assess. And I honestly am a bit strapped for time due to other deadlines I have. So please be patient. The reason I wanted to record this video specifically before your semester test is to provide feedback for specific questions because these are actual questions in your test. So I'm just going to start. This is very winged, informal. So if you want to skip chapters, look at the description. If you just want to complete this briefing and then go to your group, you're more than welcome to do that because this is going to be lengthy because I'm delving into each group's answers in depth so that you understand where you went right, where you need improvement. Also for this first part, I will help you bridge the gap between the theory and the application, how you should have approached the questions. Now, for your semester test, the scope was posted 22 April. Your first unit would be, or will be rather, so unit 5. So activity 7.1, this is a very straightforward question, and we also practiced this in our contact class, in any case. When you get to your learning outcomes in the slides and the study guide, you write, when you summarize, this is always my advice, summarize the content. So the only content for this learning outcome is about the levels of service contact and contact types, right? If you look at the slides, it will indicate the page numbers to find the information. So if you don't know yet, this is what your textbook looks like. So it's chapter 8, so unit 5, and then this is one page of what you need to know. So high, medium, low contact, and then the contact type. So don't get confused between these two. Just think of levels as high, medium, low, and then types as visiting, other way around, and arm's length, meaning digitally. So if you say digitally or electronically, you'll still get your marks. It makes sense. First, what you need to do is understand what the differences are between these three levels of service contact. You can literally just read through it. I'm not going to force you or ask you to study this whole paragraph. How you need to approach preparing is, what's the difference? The main thing here, the customer's presence is essential. Why? Because with hairdressing, no way can they cut your hair digitally. Counseling, yes, but just look at those that should be in person, which is better. It's not to say, because of the digital age we live in, psychological counseling cannot be at arm's length. There's no argument against that. So if, for argument's sake, you argue in a test, it's digital, electronically, because this person received their counseling via Teams or Zoom, but then the case study would specify that. So if we ask you from the case study, what would it be? You would say high contact level because person XYZ went to psychologist XYZ. That's just an example. Healthcare, this is unavoidable. You can't get heart surgery if you're not there. It's kind of impossible. Medium, just read through it. Low, read through it. And then whatever you approach in the test, read the case study, understand how the service works. Then you should be able to provide the one that is relevant to the question. If we look at service delivery contact types, all of you can read. So make sure when you get to the slides, if it's only listed, you need access to this information. At least you have access to these bits of information, but the library has the books. So just, it's kind of straightforward if you just read the title. So what I'm going to do now, that was the first question. I'm going to run through each group's answers. So what I want to do actually is read through all 37 questions, and then I will work through the answers per group, and then also 8. So I'll finish a group in terms of 7 and 8 and then move on. So it's not a back and forth. So 711, 712, you have to say for your business, level of service contact, and then service delivery contact types. Yeah. Then for 7.2, it was learning outcome 2. So analyze various considerations. For your Padlet startup, analyze the considerations in terms of timing, duration, and payment. So I just want to show you from the textbook perspective where it comes from. So on page 208, it's really in the text. It's not like heading based. So you need to read through all of that. But for the first one, you've got timing. And then duration is somewhere. Just have to read through it. And then payment considerations. So we will go through that. Then we have intermediaries, advantages, and disadvantages. This was a winged one. So for this question, choose any of the intermediaries as part of learning outcome 5. So it was open to your choice. Electronic, agents, brokers, or franchises. Then identify a real world example. Electronic, Takealot. Agents, brokers, Platinum Property. Franchises, McDonald's. For the brand, advise them on 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages for them. Oh, I actually remembered what I said exactly, not Chicken Licken. Anyway, 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages via the textbook. So let's go back there. And just to emphasize again why it's so important to have access to the textbook. So for franchising, for franchises perspective, we have these 3, and also I think it is only 4. So any two, but you have to apply it to the specific business if you chose a franchise. You can't apply franchise to Takealot, for example. Then we have agents and brokers. So just check the difference, and then advantages, disadvantages. You have to find it here. Electronic channels, I think, would be the easiest. You get certain electronic platforms, but you could have just gone as broad as possible. And then the associated advantages and disadvantages. So you need access to this to give informed answers, if I can put it that way. While I will consider your rationale, but it's just better to study this. So that would be then 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. I'm going to go through that because my memory is a bit short. I'm just going to go through these for Career Crafters Connect, and then we'll go on to 8. For them, they said high contact level. For them, according to their opinion, they need high involvement to deliver their service. We need to know specific information on the customer, what the customer expects and what their needs are. We need to know their skill set and more. So our business requires a customer's presence, but this is not necessary for the whole duration of the service. So what I would also advise, because if anyone else is interested in these answers, this business helps connect businesses with potential workers, if I remember that being correct. So they could argue high contact, but also medium, because they mention here they don't have to be there for the whole process, which is typically medium. But if the first interview is, listen, we need to meet you in person to verify you are human, then it's high involvement. But after that initial meeting and screening, we can continue with the process over Teams or Zoom, then that would be medium. So you can see how you can argue this any which way. If they were a lax company like Discovery and they can just use an app or a portal to apply, just complete this form, self-service, upload, you get placed, that would be low contact. So Any which way you can argue that and it makes sense, please keep that in mind. Then the customer visits the service provider and delivering at arm's length. So as alluded to in my previous answer, so the customer for that first human verifiable interview will go to the service provider. So they will visit Career Crafter Connect, and for the rest it would be digitally or electronically, so at arm's length. What they said here was when how we conduct our business is very important to the final output of the product. And then the rest of that. So you can just read through it. What I would suggest to this group is just to be a little bit more practical. For example, your first sentence doesn't tell me a lot about your business. I could associate this with any business, unless that is theory. Have our customers come into our physical facility? Remember, take it a bit further. Let's say our office is located in Vanderbijl. That's already taking it a bit further, or Meyerton, or vereniging, just to make it a bit more related to your business. Begin the service. What's the service? We begin the interactions, get to know the person, ask them questions about who they would like to be employed with, or whatever the case may be. Just that little bit extra as an application, because if you get to your test, you would need to be able to take the information from the case study and motivate exactly why you say it is at arm's length, and you can't provide theoretical based answers. So you can say, you mentioned your client contact us virtually through our website. So what I would suggest for further application would be a prospective, what's the word I'm looking for, intern or employee looking for a career in sales can literally contact us on our website, www. They can phone us on blah, 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 socials, which is hashtag this, and then we can start the service process. So that's just taking a little bit further in terms of application. Then the various considerations in the service delivery process of timing. For everyone's better understanding, let's go back to the main consideration of the timing aspect, and you can keep this very simple. I mentioned in class, if you just look at a medical service providing after hours medical services, so the timing, do they offer aftercare services? Do they offer outside, besides business hour services, emergency services, any aspect that you can see in that timing? But if we look at that one in time as agreed upon, delays can be dissatisfying. If you take it a bit further, this is great because actually you applied it here, CV writing. Immediately it's applied because now it makes sense. But you can, for example, add that if we say someone has a question and they want to verify specific aspects of the CV writing process, are we available via WhatsApp or an email after hours so that we can quickly guide them to make sure it is delivered on time. You don't have to add anything to that. That's just spitballing some ideas. Duration, if I can recall, is about how long the process takes, because duration. Okay, so this is also a little bit of theory. It mentions should be done as quickly and efficiently as possible. But if I have to guess, because ironically I'm busy updating my CV, it takes so much time. So I would give it a time scale. I would say, depending on the candidate's experience and qualifications, it should take between 30 minutes to 4 hours. That's application for your context. So if you literally just add, instead of all of the information, just say, at Career Crafters Connect, depending on the person's qualifications and experience, then the length of the CV will differ, meaning the duration will differ 30 minutes to 4 hours, something like that. Multiple days, maybe. For those who are not familiar with technology, maybe 5 hours. That would be a short and sweet example so that you don't waste too much time explaining a lot of things and not really getting to application. We have payments. So with payment, you get before, during, after. There you use payment after the service is delivered. Okay, cool. So this is great. This is really a good application example for this business. only after they successfully landed a job and earn an income, then they pay for the service. So this is really good. With intermediaries, they took Amazon. That's cool. I'm looking forward to them getting to South Africa. Advantages, yeah, definitely. I'm going to scroll through this quickly because I think the electronic channels are the easiest, and I think it would be the same for any company students chose. Yep, Amazon, wider distribution, everyone in South Africa, anyone in the world. I've ordered from Amazon twice. They have access to the whole world, except those countries that ban them, of course. Customer convenience. If I have to take my own experience without reading their answers, I ordered my Garmin Viva Active 3 4 years ago. I got it in 4 days from America, so that's amazing. So that's convenient, and also the ordering and payment process is really, really fast. Disadvantages, absolutely. Price competition. It was a disadvantage for Takealot because it was half the price on Amazon. I could buy 2 watches for the price of 1. So for Amazon, it would also be a problem if Garmin had a sale or any other place had a sale because there are so many electronic intermediaries that sell the same products. That's good. And then increased competition. Now it links with the previous one. A lot of electronic businesses out there. So these are perfect. This is perfectly applied. So then we have activity 8.1, demonstrate the ability to develop service culture. This is study unit 6. I didn't repeat it there. I mentioned this in our class too. Just think straightforward for this one in the test. Your 4 requirements: strategic, organizational, managerial, knowledge, and attitude. You just had to provide one example for each. Then we have analyze internal marketing, and it's important in service marketing. So you just had to design a service, not a service, an internal marketing triangle, and also interpret those 6 elements. And then you could choose any 2 of these: deliver service by quality by means of people, any 2 of those. Let's go through those answers. For Career Crafter Connect, we have target market by making use of market analysis and segmentation, leveraging technology and having online sessions. Yeah, so if I quickly scan through this was based on all you need to do is who, what, where, when, how. So again, please just be a bit more specific. So Career Crafters Connect, that's the who, or employees, manager, a marketer, need to identify the target market, who includes job seekers, by making use of market analysis and segmentation, looking at previous research or market analysis, or LinkedIn. Leveraging technology, of course, you can just say technology such as LinkedIn, and then also using Zoom and such to have the online sessions. Yeah, so just add those little tidbits to make it a bit more applied. Then multiple services, just list 1 or 2, otherwise how would I know it's multiple? And application. With organizational requirements, that would be, as I mentioned in class, the organogram, so the organizational structure. So you start with analyzing whether it's a flat structure or expanded structure. If I quickly scan, I would completely adapt this answer where you would say Career Crafters has a flat organizational structure, because at this stage they only have the CEO, and then they have an employee who is the marketing director, someone that does the admin, someone that does the finances, recruitment. So that would be a very condensed organizational structure. Just Google that. Then you would just be able to understand a little bit better on how to do organizational requirements. So the marketing, the role of the CEO or the director would be to disseminate the strategy and also tell everyone what to do, how to achieve the main goals and strategies. And then the marketing director would know, okay, or manager would do not the recruitment, but develop all the material and get the business out there. Finances, of course, would handle the finances. The IT personnel would handle the website and appointments and whatnot. So just check this one again. Protocol management was about leadership, and this links with your organogram, your organizational structure. Just mention management requirement. It doesn't have that much to do with customers. It has to do with the internal environment. So the marketing director talking to employees to tell them this and this and this is what you have to do to get job seekers' attention on Career Crafters Connect website, on LinkedIn, and they need to be leaders and not man, because I mentioned in class management is such a terrible word. So you develop leadership in your organization. So just think of how you can develop leadership in your organization, knowledge and attitude. Yeah, I like this. Highly qualified in human resources, that would be one. Labor relations, that would be another one. Marketing proficiency and business management, among others. So that would be just qualified in what? Yeah, the attitude one is fine. For internal marketing, let's have a quick look here. Okay, so you had to, let me just read your answers, but technically you should have included a little bit here. Who's your employees? Who's the customers would be job seekers and that. So you have company to customers. Okay, no, that's good. But again, that application, that application advertise their services of what? What do you do exactly? So explaining their services to so customers can see what they gain. What is that specifically? That needs to be clear. The actual what? Company to employee. Employees or the management needs to ensure that their respective employees are trained. But what specifically? So the marketer needs to be able to use various softwares like Canva, LinkedIn to recruit or advertise it. Someone needs to know how to use Teams or Zoom so that they can facilitate interviews on all that. So just have one specific example. Company to systems, I'm not sure what you mean by company to systems. Maybe, yeah, so I'm not sure about your employee to systems. Let me just, yeah, employee to customers, this is where they interact. So this is good. This is a good example. That's perfect. Company, I'm not sure company to system. So just check that you have your examples here, which would kind of be these links if I just interpret your answers. So you would instead have, instead of company to customer, you would just in brackets have external marketing, because that's the answer for external marketing. And then when you explain the employee component, you need to explain the different roles of employees that you have, the marketing person, the CV writing expert, just a few examples there. Career Crafters Connect, of course, is the brand main company, and customers, what do the customers look like? That is very important, especially I'm going to branch out on this one for your group. When you get to a test, first, it's great, you need to be able to draw this, but also you need to be able to analyze this for a business. So if you can't analyze from the case study who the employees are, then you will not get those marks. So make sure you know who the companies, who are the customers specifically, job seekers, who are the employees, CV writing experts, and then the company would, that's fine. What's this, what's this, what's this? So be very specific in your answers there. The last one, strategies to deliver. So you chose hiring the right people. You mentioned it's crucial to make they hire the right employee, of course, but with what skills? So just mention something. So they need to have CV writing skill. They need communication skills. They need marketing degrees. So one example would suffice, just so I know you see the skills they need. Hire the right people. And then you had retaining. No, that's fine. Your retaining is fine. That's good.